Hey everybody, I'm just going to be putting everybody up. I'm sending out invites to everybody on the panel, so just as you see them there, just accept them and bring them through.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Vyman. Hey.
All right. Just wanted to make sure my mic was on, make sure everything was good to go. Obviously, we're going to let the room start filling up a little bit before we get started. If you're going to be one of the speakers today and you don't have if you're not logged in from your official account, can you raise your hand? That way I can put you up on the panel board.
Rise up. I sent you both speaker kind of invites. I think you just have to accept them on your end. Santi, I see you there. You've got yours.
Yep, thank you.
Perfect. The other two Rise Up accounts, you also have them if you want. Hey, King, I see you. Hey, Mike. Vibing, we might have lost some on the way.
There's the transition. They're waiting for the link, actually. Let me post this link over there just in case.
Noticing. It's stuck on connecting for Nicole.
Yeah, just jinxed. I think I seen somebody raising their hand. Did you already bring them up?
No.
Okay, I thought I seen somebody. Again, guys, just give us a couple minutes to get the space. Get everybody in the space. I can't raise my hand. Do you see Mick?
I do not see Mick. I was just going to say, Auto Crypto, you have an invite that was just sent down to you. You just have to accept it. It's on the top of your screen there for a mic.
Hey, Jen, just to let you know, Dave Wellhunter will be on.
Wonderful. Yay. That's great.
Yes, ma'am.
That means he's feeling better.
I'm hoping so. That or he just couldn't miss it.
Auto Crypto, just see if you see an invite coming through for you there, and then you can get up.
I just invited Well Hunter up as well. I'm still waiting to see the Doe. Do you see Doe BSE?
I don't see Doe, but I got Rug Seeker, so I'm hoping, Rob, did you just get an invite too for a mic?
Hey, Mick, if you can hear us, try leaving and coming back in. See if I can find you.
If anything, I will shoot him a message in Telegram.
All right, thank you, bro. Also invited John up from GNL.
Perfect.
Well Hunter, I sent an invite to speak as well.
Perfect.
I did get an invite, yes.
Perfect. You're all up on there. Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure. I know Nicole's also having a little bit of difficulty getting on. So, John, I know we can see you there. Your invite has been sent. So you should see on the top of your screen somewhere there that just says accept your ability to have a speaking position. And then you'll join the group of the panel at the top. Oh, there's another one.
I just sent the invite to speak again for Auto Crypto. John said he doesn't know how to work it. It's all good. And again, if you're in the room, guys, bear with us while we fill the room up. Also, go ahead and share the tweet out so we can get the room filled up faster. If you don't know how to do that, it should be like a little arrow on the bottom of your screen, and you can just tweet it out. John, if you can hear us, your invite should be popping up on your screen. I just sent it to you again, and then just hit accept. Accept invite.
Sorry, that's me typing. Sorry.
All good. Just sent one for Egg Surge. I'm not sure if that.
Yay, it's Blue.
All right, that's Blue. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Hey, Blue. Hey, I'm so happy you were able to make it this afternoon. We're just trying to collaborate, getting all of the mics and the speakers kind of set. We're going to use as many as we can today since, the space will probably fill up.
Yeah, sorry I'm late. I had a lot going on today, so this kind of snuck up.
Don't you? It's hard to get everybody in on a Saturday.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's a lot of transactions or a lot of actions on the blockchain on Twitter today.
Did we get John up? Is John up? Let's see.
John said he couldn't figure out how to work it. I'm not sure if he's on PC or mobile version.
Let's see. John, send me a message or send me and Vibes a message in our main chat. Mick too. I see Mick down here. Let's get you. Mick, I just sent you a speaker's invite. It should show up on the top of the page. So as you're open here in Spaces, you should see something that says you've been invited to speak, and then you just click. I think it's accept. Should pay more attention when I use it, I guess. Nicole, I tried to send you another one. Let's see if that link works. Yay, it worked. Hey, Nicole.
Hey.
Hey, I'm so happy. It's so frustrating when Twitter doesn't work. It wasn't working well yesterday, so we'll see if we can get all these mics kind of managed. I'm trying you again, John. I'm sending another invite over to you. So just keep your eye on the top of your screen there.
Yeah, I got it working on my mobile.
Yeah, it works best on mobile, I would say. I'm on my mobile. I'm certain most of us probably are.
I don't even think it works on a computer. I've never been on Spaces on a computer before.
It's a valid point, Blue. This girl's never used it on her PC either.
Yeah, only use so that's probably the issue. Make sure you guys. Oh yeah, John said he's on PC. Yeah, John, switch over to the Twitter app on your phone. Look, we learn something new every day. I didn't even know that myself, but again, I've never tried it from PC. And again, welcome everybody to the space. If you're in here now, you guys know we're doing a collaboration series today with a couple of projects. Make sure you guys tweet the space out so you can invite some friends in. We're gonna get started here in a few minutes. We got one or two more people that we got to bring up, and then we'll start following them. And again, today we're gonna be doing a giveaway for 3 Ledger Nano X and 100 Koi Punks from the Rise Up crew. So it's gonna be super exciting.
I wonder if John, you on your PC or are you on your mobile?
He was on PC, but he said, hold up, I think I got him now. He's gonna switch over to mobile. And I think we're connecting him now, and then that should
Perfect. That'll be a good chunk, and we can
Yes, just nailed it.
There
Sorry.
it is. He's finally here. Welcome to
Do you know what, man? Like I say, guys, I'm not a tech guy. That
you do say that.
Oh man, brutal. Thanks for the invite,
all
by the
good.
way. Much appreciated, man.
No problem at all.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you.
And then did we get Izzo from Auto Crypto?
I know he dropped back off. I'm thinking he might be switching to a different.
He did.
As
I got him right here.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
And then we also got. I see Scott Tripp in the house from Big One. How you doing, brother?
I have him in now. It looks like. Yeah, Auto Crypto. You're in. I think I just sent the approval for you. I'm adding you just now.
And that should fill us up, right?
Yeah, it should. It's still showing requested. It won't allow
I
to
know it's saying the same thing for me. Add a speaker. Auto Crypto Canal.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Is there a table in it?
It is, but what we can do is probably put somebody else up as a co-host, and then that'll free up another spot for a speaker, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's do it. We'll switch. You want to switch Blue? Put Blue in, and then I'll put Blue as a co-host.
There you go.
There we go, Blue. Oh, and Mark's here too. We need Mark up on the panel. Let's put him as a co-host. Okay, perfect.
And you still got one request on your screen, Jen, from...
I have 2. I have Matt here too. Let's see. Does that work, Matt? It won't let me add him. We've maxed out our mics. I think. But
we tried.
We went hardcore.
So what we can do, we can just shuffle around a little bit, and we'll get Auto Crypto up when it's time for them to come in and kind of give their elevator speech. So we'll shuffle it around a little bit.
Yeah, man, I don't mind sharing my mic, mate. That's no problem at all, bud.
We appreciate it. We'll definitely swap it around. But again, guys, we appreciate everyone coming in today. We're going to be talking about DeFi today, space, the importance of collaborations amongst projects and safety as well as security. And we want to thank Serge for setting this up for us today and all the projects that's involved. We are going to have some cool giveaways. I'm going to go ahead and pin a Google form at the top for you guys to fill out for a chance to win the NFTs from Rise Up. So if everybody's ready, we can go ahead and get started, and we'll just have projects come up one at a time, give you a little bit about themselves before we get started all the way today. And if you guys want to go in order, I'm Jen, you can go first, and then followed by T-Doge, and then Do.
Sure. So everybody here, I'm representing my company, which is Vault DeFi. We are a 3-token DeFi project on the BSC network. We do rewards as well as hyper deflationary style of a token. I'll give you a little bit more information, I guess, as we're talking, but I don't want to take up too much time because we do have so many of us here on the panel today. But essentially, we're here to just let everybody know that we do really work together. We're trying to bring a space where investors can feel comfortable talking to, more than one particular project, and that you can feel comfortable knowing that we all kind of work together to help each other succeed and make our projects more secure for the investor bodies moving forward. As you know, like cryptocurrency moves very quickly, and innovation moves just as quick along with it. So being able to work directly with each other has improved not only all of our projects, but certainly makes them safer for all of you to be able to invest in them. So I'll just kind of like move the floor along and let XSurge maybe do a little quick elevator speech on what XSurge is. And then we'll just move through the speakers kind of easily.
Yeah, hi guys. My name's Blue. I work with XSurge Trader Ecosystem, and so what we are a bit unique on the market as opposed to other cryptocurrencies. For instance, we don't have a set total supply. The way our token works is we have a variable total supply that can never be less than one. We have five various variants on the market that people have to choose from, and what we utilize a wrapping mechanism around any asset that we choose to quote unquote surge. So the way that we work, whenever our token wraps around an asset, there's what we call a price tax ratio. And what it does is through a specific algorithm, it actually raises the value of the token for buys, sells, or transfers. So anytime there's a buy, anytime there's a sell, anytime there's a transfer of the token, it continuously raises the value of the asset over time. So it's a great way to earn passive income in the space. And Vault DeFi, one of our collaborating partners in the space, actually, they reflect our tokens to other holders. So it's a fantastic way to stack dividends and compound your growth in your portfolio. And so we have a lot of variants out right now. We have 5 different variants out right now. We've surged Bitcoin, Ethereum, Surge Useless. We have a Surge Useless token. If you're familiar with them. Our lead developer, Mark, he works hand in hand with them and Vault DeFi to better their own ecosystems and blend our projects together. We have staking mechanisms too for their token as well. We're actually in the process. We just released our newest token, XUSD. So you heard me say earlier that the name of our ecosystem is a type of trader ecosystem. So what we aim to do is we aim to blend those cryptocurrencies together in a way that allows you to traverse between those different currencies. And what that's going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you the freedom to traverse into various currencies in DeFi. So if you want to go from Surge ETH, say Surge ETH is on a bear run and you want to swap over to a higher value currency, you can actually swap over from Surge ETH to XUSD, our newest traversal trader token. You cross over to there, it's a very low tax to do so, and then you cross over to another currency. XUSD is a stable coin, so it's pegged to the US dollar. It actually attempts to peg itself to the US dollar. It's still an appreciating currency that works off the Surge algorithm. So it also continues to gain its own value. But through a low tax, you traverse into XUSD. You can also traverse into Surge Bitcoin from there. And by then you've gained an arbitrage opportunity and potentially gained profit in your own portfolio. So it's a very versatile asset. But there's
a bunch of different things
to explain. I'm going to go ahead and move the floor along. And we'll hopefully talk some more about it. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions out there if you've never heard of us. We look forward to answering your questions. But I'll move it along. I guess, Mark, you want to say anything about it?
Yeah, I was just going to give another, just a simplified view of it. So Surge is, it's not really a token in itself. It's a wrapping mechanism around other tokens. This other token can be anything. We call it the underlying asset. It could be Bitcoin, ADA, Ethereum, US dollars, any token whatsoever. And eventually there might be a Surge wrapping for any token whatsoever. We're opening up the algorithm to be completely open source and let anyone create Surge tokens very easily. But as Blue mentioned, it's very simple in design. It's a wrapping around another token. So when you buy Surge Ethereum, it's the same thing as you just buying Ethereum. But instead of getting Ethereum back, you get back Surge Ethereum. And what this is it is Ethereum but the amount of Ethereum that one Surge token will grant you always grows with every buy, sell, and transfer. So if you hold your Surge Ethereum for a longer time, every single transfer of any kind will raise its value. So for just an example, Surge Ethereum launched, 1 billion Surge Ethereum was about 0.005 Ether. And today, at the time of writing, 1 billion Surge Ethereum is 0.0085 Ether. So about a 68% increase. So a lot of really cool stuff with Surge. XUSD just launched. Its starting price was $1 per XUSD. And we just broke $1.03.7. And it's only been 12 days. So there's a bunch of really cool stuff into the ecosystem, like arbitrage, staking, yield farming, a bunch of cool stuff. But at the end of the day, Surge is it's another asset, but with a special wrapping algorithm put on top of it. And as Blue mentioned too, you can traverse it easily and go between all these different assets for a lower rate by utilizing the intermediary one that we call XUSD. And that's also the USD pegged variant we were just talking about. So it is really cool. Definitely a lot to learn about it. But yeah, that was just another little overview. I'll hand the mic over.
All right. Next up, we got Santiago from T-Doge, and then we'll follow up with Mick from Doe.
All right, testing. Hello.
Yes, sir. What's up, brother?
Oh, hey, how are you? As Vibin mentioned, my name is Santiago. I'm the co-CEO, co-founder of T-Doge. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been super excited for this all week. I've been talking to Jen for about a week or so. I just had Jen and Vibin on our podcast. And honestly, I'm super hyped for this DeFi in Spaces collaboration. As Jen mentioned, the biggest thing in crypto is partnerships, is collaboration, is speaking to others, simple, what's the word I'm looking for? Like-minded individuals. And I believe this is the space to do so. So a little bit about TechnoDoge. TechnoDoge is is not a meme coin. So that's always one of the first questions. The reason why we decided to go with the meme kind of style, the Doge style, is because, as most people know, anything Doge moons instantly, and that's kind of, we use that to our advantage to really expand and what's the word I'm looking for? Assert market dominance, I would say. And now we're expanding into different technologies. I can't really explain too much about it. Jen and Vibin know the aspects about it, but we have a lot of stuff in development at the moment, and we are very excited for all the things that we're rolling out. But I don't want to take up too much time because I know that we have other speakers. But that's a little bit about T-Doge. Feel free to check us out. It should be on my page, and if anything, official_T-Doge. And also, very important, we are a registered LLC in Miami, Florida. So you can actually look up TechnoDoge LLC and you can find us. So thank you for having me.
No problem. Got Mick up next from Doe.
Yeah, thanks, Vibin, for the introduction, and love hearing about the other guys in this group, because I do think that partnering is the way to go to grow a business. I'm a sales manager for an IT company focused on blockchain and digital identity. And a big part of my job is talking to partners, growing our network, because the main revenue of our company is through partnerships. So I really appreciate being here today. I'm the CEO and founder of Doe. People see us as a meme coin due to the friendly cookie that we have as a logo, but we are far from a meme coin. We are in development, also already released our beta of a fully automated cross-chain launchpad, and not a launchpad that we all know where someone can apply his or her idea, and the Launchpad team will help you with the audit, the marketing, the contract, the pre-sale, the funding, all the things. We intend to do that all automated and therefore be scalable, whilst bringing back security. And that's something I would want to address more during this spaces today. Like, what's the reason why I started Doe, why we focus so much on security. But bottom line is that every project that we will be launching, although automatically, will be a safe investment in terms of not a rug pull, not a honeypot, no messing with taxes or anything malicious, automated KYC with a selfie check and a passport validation, automated auditing, like all the good things that you want from a project will be available from the DOE Launchpad. And I hope we can manage to be like top 50 altcoin, compete with the big guys, but that's something for the next couple of years, I think. But it all starts with partnerships, hence I'm here today.
We appreciate having you, brother. Next up, we're going to have the Rise Up crew. I'm not sure who's going to come in and speak, but it's a crew of them, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
All right. So my name is Big Tex on Telegram and or Chase, like the bank. A little bit about Rise Up. We were created with the intention to give investors the appropriate tools needed to get the necessary information in order to make a sound judgment on whether a project will be a good investment for themselves. The main issue within the communities as a whole is that so many investors rely on others to do research for them due to limited tools and resources. But that's why we developed a tool that will give you the information within a matter of minutes compared to the hours it used to take to individually research projects. We've also recently gone from a buyback whale contract to a rewards contract and recently launched V2 earlier this week. So yeah, that's a little bit about us right now.
We appreciate it. And they're also going to be doing the giveaway for the NFTs, guys. I had to repost the Google form at the top. It should be working now. Make sure you guys fill that out for a chance to win NFT today. They're going to be giving away 100.
Vibing real quick on that. For the wallet address, everyone, we will need your Ethereum address, not your BSC or BNB address, because everything on OpenSea is for Ethereum. So just make sure when you fill that form out, it is your Ethereum address.
I appreciate you clearing that up, Tex. I'm glad you told me that too. So yeah, guys, make sure you put your Ethereum address up there. Again, the link is posted at the top. Next up, we're going to have Dave from Whale Hunter. So whenever you're ready, Dave.
Hey, what's happening?
How you doing, brother?
There we go. Sorry, I got a phone call right then. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. I'm doing well, and I've been getting over an issue this past week. I was sick the past week, so it's good to be back in action. A little bit about our project. I'm the founder of Whale Hunter. What we do is we have a interface on our website that allows you to track up to 200 different wallets at once. So instead of relying on some internet source, from crypto moonshots to a tweet that somebody puts out or something, we actually give you the ability to follow the money in real time and see what projects the money is actually going into. So similar to like the hedge funds, and just following the money on the blockchain. So it's all free for now on our website. We do have a token called Mobi, which you will need to access the site once we get it all, up and running and check all the marks off of our roadmap. But right now, we have one called our Shark Hunter, which is a very useful tool. That's the one that can track up to 200 wallets. And I'd encourage everybody to check out whalehunter.finance and give our tools a peek. And they've proved to be very, very profitable when used correctly. So again, always do your own research, never take anybody's word for it, but just wanted to provide the space with a tool to look at where the money is actually going as opposed to where people say it's going.
Yeah, man, that's pretty cool. I like that one. Next up, we're going to have Rug Seekers.
Yeah, hi guys. I'm Rob Browning. I'm the CEO and founder of Rug Seekers. It's good to be here. Thanks for having us. Thanks, Jen, for putting this together, and thanks for asking us to be a part. We started a little different. We're obviously have a token behind our project. Seek. That's the name of our token. We started a little bit different in the fact that we actually had a community and had a project before we ever thought about or launched or talked about having a token. The token was really brought about by by some of our community. We had, a group of 400 or 500 people that said, "Hey, we'd like to buy your token." And, we said, well, we would love to sell it to you, but we don't have one. So that kind of became our not our mission, but our objective. And over the last 60 days or so, we've been out. We launched September 10th. It's been as you all know, with anybody that's been a dev on a token project knows it's really an adventure. So we were part of an ecosystem rather that involved a couple other tokens, DBT and Dior. Dior's had a management shift, and they're going through some growing pains at the moment, putting together a different contract. But we're a standalone project, and always have been. And what we do is a risk assessment type of situation. Nicole, our CMO, who all you guys probably know very well, and Carl and I were in a project together, and we're actually shilling big bags that we held in the project and brought some people in, and it went south, and we all stuck around till the very end, even long after the devs had gone. As a matter of fact, we just kind of kept the TG going, and we got everybody out. And so we spent the next few days kind of in that feeling that we all have when you've been rug pulled, right? And I sat alone, kind of thought, if this can happen to me with a banking background, what chance does a novice investor have? So we started to form Rug Seekers, where I pulled the last 40 or 50 contracts that I knew were complete garbage, and I pulled 40, 10 or 20, 30 upwards that I knew were actually solid. And I found out what variables they had and how they shared, and I began to build this algorithm that we have, and we found very quickly that while scanners are absolutely a great tool, that's what they are as a tool. What I noticed a lot in the space is that scanners weren't updating, and they weren't. We saw different scams coming all the time. I mean, you guys are in the space, you see every day. I mean, for Christ's sake, what Squid Game pulled was more of a honey rug and then a re-honey. So they change so often that we have to evolve as well. So we are in the midst of developing a software that is fully integratable, fully updatable, fully functional, so that we can keep it, over and above the hands of these people who are kind of, trying to run havoc on our space. We're here to clean it, help to clean it up. We do have a bounty program. As far as I know, we're the first in the crypto space to ever offer to pay a bounty. You come to our spot and turn in a scammer on my website. If we find that that's a corrupt individual, a corrupt project, or a corrupt influencer, we're good with that too. You bring them to us. If we can expose it in its infancy, we put you in a lottery and we draw they want the Wild West, we'll bring it to them. We'll put a number on their head. So last month that number was $2,000 that we gave away. This month that number was $7,000. So we gave away $7,000 to two people just for doing what we hope that people will do in this space, and that is that, listen, if you have a question, bring it to us. Bring it to not just us, bring it to like the people in the space. Rise up, different people. We want partnerships. We don't want competition. Those guys and I have worked together before, and we've bumped heads with. And when I say bumped heads, I mean in a good way. And I actually found and exposed a fake safe rise up, and we took that public and tried to help those guys out. So it's in the competition, it's a collaboration, and it's a collaboration throughout the space. And if any of us can't get that, we really need to be doing something else, because it's nasty out there in the world. And I think that everybody here, I'm so glad to be a part of this, because I think everybody I've heard and everybody I've talked to, and I've looked into your projects, it seems like you all want to be part of the solution instead of part of what the BCS is now, which is the problem, And so I look forward to it, to our adventures, and to what's hope in the future. We're starting our Seco system, and that's going to involve another big, beautiful token that's already over 2,000 BNB pre-sale. So I mean, it's just really a fully functional, integrated in the world type. And I'm not here to plug that. I'm just here to tell you that we're not stopping. Anything that can generate revenue and open partnerships and doors for us to kick these guys in the ass, we're here for it. Because that's what we want to do, is make them look silly in their own space. So I appreciate you giving me time to talk. I don't know how long I can be here today. I really want to thank you all for helping me and letting us be here. And Nicole is here, and Nicole has my proxy. She's far smarter than me anyway, and she's way better looking. So she just knows so much, and I'm going to leave her here. But I'm going to stick around as long as I possibly can. But I have a family issue going, and I didn't want to not be here. So Jen, again, thank you, and thank all the rest of you, Blue, and the different ones that I've heard. Vibe, I've seen you've been working your ass off trying to get this together, man. 100% respect. Thanks for having us, and we're so honored just to be in company here. That's all I got.
We appreciate it, Rob, man. And I love what you guys offer as well, man. And it's good to see different projects that kind of, can be in here and do kind of the same thing, but it's friendly competition and not like a bad competition, like where you guys help each other out. So that's really big. Next up, we're going to have John Wood over from Greenlight Energy. They're one of the projects that got added at the last minute, but John's a very enthusiastic guy with a new project. So we wanted to give him some space to come up and tell a little bit about himself as well.
John, you'll just, oh yeah, perfect.
You should be on now, John. I can hear your speaker.
My bad. Yeah, my bad. I had my mic on mute.
There you go.
Yeah, listen, thank you very much, man. Listen, guys, my first time on here. I've never done this before. I just want to say thank you very much to let me be here. Also, 2 seconds. Yeah, what is it? My mic's on. I've just fixed it. Oh, that's my wife giving me a bollocking for not putting my mic on there. She shut, John, your mic's not on. I'm like, I've just done it. But yeah, I mean, like the guy that just spoke there, man, I've got a lot of respect for you, brother, because there's a lot of people getting scammed out there, and what you're doing there, man, is awesome. Like, seriously, mate, you're taking the time to help people that have been put through the shit. And I'm gonna apologise for my swearing, because I swear quite a lot, guys. So I'm apologising for that now. But I'm from Scotland. I know there's another Scottish guy in here somewhere, so he'll be able to verify that. But what you're doing with your project, man, is amazing. Seriously, bud, and a lot of respect for that. Me myself, I'll tell you a bit about me. I've got a forestry company in the UK, and that's kind of where I got my foot into renewable energy. And obviously our project's Greenlight Energy Global. We're only gonna, we've got big things we want to strive for, a lot of big things in the future we're going for. Right now, with us in general, we're just trying to get a foot stamp in the UK. That's where we want to be just now, to grow from there. So our project's really about the renewable energy sector and working with payments on that. So basically, we want to be the power station at some point. Obviously, you can't start off there. It's a big goal. We want to get our app, which is the GNL app, which is going to be the main thing for our entire project. And that's going to be powered by the GNL token. Now, you can't use this app unless you've got the actual token in the app. It's got to be powered by it. So this will allow users to use our app to pay for the renewable energy. Now, what I mean by that is we're going to create renewable energy projects around the globe. And these renewable energy projects are going to power things like the GNL blockchain, even communities, people that are struggling just now. Like, that's the main thing about this project is this. So many people are struggling in the world, and the government just now don't give a shit. They don't give a fuck. So, we've took that liberty to go out there and kind of give the power back to the people. And that's what this token's all about. So we want to be in the future, producing renewable energy projects that are decentralized, that have no power station, so no one controls it but the people that live in the community. So they're going to give power to their houses, which is going to be stored in power in the actual solar power project itself. It'll go to the community. They'll be able to control their power through the app, control the payment as well, making them, a lot affordable for them, because gas prices, all the energy prices just now that are going up in the UK, they're just, they're raping people left, right, and center. And people can't go on like that forever. So we're there right now to give them that stepping stone, so they can, they can be able to afford their power. And it's all about the little guy as well, this project. It's about getting people the chances to survive. I mean, fucking hell, we're all human beings, eh? And, there's so many people out there that care about the money. They don't give a fuck about the people. That's not GNL. Like, we're going to be a global fucking brand. I promise you that. I know I've kind of rushed through it tonight, but after this chat, if you want to come and speak to me, come and give me a chat and I'll tell you more about it. But yeah, we've got big things we want to do, and we're going to change the fucking world. I promise you that. So just watch it. But thank you for letting me come up here, mate.
I love the energy, bro. Always good to see people, have good energy about their projects, and
yeah,
we love it.
Well, thank you very much, man. Seriously, brother.
Oh yeah, and stick around. We're gonna have the floor open again for everybody
always, mate.
to talk a little bit more about their project. We're gonna bring up Jen. Can you bring up Auto Crypto now and put someone down for a second so we can have them come up and tell a little bit about Auto Crypto?
I am doing it right now.
I see you working. Thank you.
Auto Crypto, you should have it. Yep, he's up now.
All right, I see connecting.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
There he is. What's up, brother?
I was just going to say, maybe just mention the contest or the giveaway.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. First of all, thank you for having me. I'm very, very happy and excited for joining in this collaboration. And sorry about the technical issues. It's the first time for me to using Twitter Spaces, so bear with me. AutoCrypto is actually a personal project of mine that started 8 months ago. It's funny because it started like a personal project to earn passive income, so I could actually quit my job and work less. And here I am, Saturday night working all the day working. I become a person that works 24 hours, 7 days a week. So it's quite funny. And yeah, for you guys wondering, AutoCrypto is an artificial intelligence that invests automatically in the crypto scene, in the crypto market, and it's like an application for an online broker. Just that it's instead of being operated by a human, it's completely automatic, operated by artificial intelligence. And while we're finishing and developing our this application that is currently beta under development. We are also providing tools for our investors to work, especially in the BSC platform. And of course, security and safety is a very important matter for us. Such an important matter for us that we are developing what we think that are going to be an incredible and revolutionary tools for the BCSC investors that will change completely how the platform invests, and especially focused into removing the risk of falling into scams, like especially rug pulls and honeypots. We're developing a tool that is going to make our investors to invest completely in a completely safe way, because it won't allow you as an investor to join a honeypot, for example. And if the contract change midway in your investment, or the contract owner is trying to make a rug pull and remove the liquidity, the contract itself is going to front run that operation and remove all the investments from there, and give back the funds to the owner, to the original owner. We really think that this is going to be revolutionary. It's a tool that we are going to be releasing in the few next weeks, and of course, we are since the start fighting and trying to fight scams and trying to bring more the security. We do believe in the BSC platform. We think that the Binance Smart Chain has all the tools and all the necessary stuff to be the queen of the DeFi and the queen of the smart contracts platform. But sadly, where the money goes, the scammers and the people with malicious intentions follow soon after. And that's why we think that collaborating with legit projects that their main focus is to bring more security and bring more safety for early adopters and for new investors is critical and a key matter.
Yeah, man, I would completely agree with that. And that's the importance of, having a space like this today and having people come out and hear these different type of projects, because not all scams are the same. So while some projects are good at exposing wallets, some are better at, exposing the contract errors. So the importance of having all these different type of projects and having them come together today is just really big. And I'm just really happy to be here to, be able to moderate for you guys and bring my community along with you guys' community along and give them a safe space to listen to different projects. Again, if you guys are listening, we are going to give away 3 Ledger Nano X's today and 100 of the Koi Punks. So make sure you guys fill out the form at the top, and then we can we'll go through afterwards and we'll get you guys sent over your NFTs. And again, like as you guys were just talking about here with the Auto Crypto and as well as Well Hunter and Rug Seekers and Rise Up. You guys offer a level of security that the space has been missing for a little bit. I know, like Rob said something about the Wild Wild West. It was really like the Wild Wild West, and the fact that we've all been in a situation where we've been either honeypot or rug, and it led multiple people to start projects to protect against that or to better the space. And I think that's really big. So next up, we'll just go through and just talk about some of the levels of security for each project, or maybe why you guys started your project and what you were trying to protect, or maybe an incident that happened to you, or an event that happened to you where you got caught in a honeypot or a scam. Me personally, I've never been rug pot or honeypot or a rug pull, and I'm just kidding. I've been there, more than enough time, especially on the BSC side of things. I found myself a part of a few projects, and luckily I ran into, people from like Rods Up and Rug Seekers and Well Hunter, and you can use these services and these tools that they have to literally find errors in contracts and help you narrow down the time, because it does take a lot of time. So, Jen, you got anything you want to add or step in here?
Yeah. I can talk about something that happened on our project here at Vault DeFi. We had a disgruntled employee who was working with us as a CMO position, and we do token allotment here, as many people do. And we'll let War on Thugs talk a little bit about how they have a different screening process that works on their project for how they look at how creators and developers allot tokens upon deployment. We do kind of what I would call as appreciation style tokens, but essentially when developers have tokens, in my opinion, or the way I look at them, they're really there to hold the line of the project. They're shares. We are an LLC, so the company, in my consideration, is always looking at those as being used to hold. It allows us to know that we have a percentage of the supply and protection, as none of our development team looks to sell them. So on our team, we have our tokens on contract that you will hold them for 36 months, and that includes anybody who holds a token allotment over basically 0.1% or 1% in general. We had a member of the team who decided that they wanted to leave the project. It's requested upon anyone on our team who leaves that they give us the opportunity to purchase those tokens back at the value of the current market price. So that it would not negatively affect the investor's seed funding or the LP. So essentially, if someone on our team ever wants to go, you're absolutely welcome to do so. Just give me the opportunity to utilize my own personal funds to buy back your tokens and protect my investors' funding. Unfortunately, I was never given that opportunity, and that member of our team left, disgruntled, and sold down their portion of the development tokens. They were able to do this essentially only 7 to 8 days after the launch of the project. If anybody here knows how negative something like that can be to affect a project, my project was up. It was quite high. It was 10 times the original launch price, and it allotted this particular member to make off with quite a large sum of money. Unfortunately, what that does to our project is it puts the bottom floor back down to an area where it's very hard to obtain moving back up, and essentially takes a lot of the seed money, which in my opinion is the LP and what I am here to protect as the CEO of the company. The nice part, I guess, of the story is it generates the ability to do something better. How do we fix this? What do I do to make things better? So I'm able to utilize, a contract developer that is on the panel here today, DeFi Mark, who certainly is a visionary in many aspects of DeFi, but absolutely with Solidity contract development. And he was able to think about it and develop many different aspects of contracts. And you might want to speak about them in general, Mark. But one in particular allows us to now have a token locker. So on our new token that we released not long after this one, we're able to make sure that anybody who held these sizes of tokens have them in a lock. That lock doesn't allow for sell. It certainly does allow for small allowances to be removed or taken to allow those people to generate some form of income. But it is done in a very clean and safe way. It allows a small portion of profit to be shared to the employee who worked hard for the company over the course of a year, but it doesn't allow that employee to ever take the entire amount and sell it down in one chunk, creating a massive sell wall and a new floor. So from one problem in safety, we're able to utilize smart contract development to then essentially change the future of it. So the hope is that many new projects coming up come and look at, Mark as a Solidity developer, as an outside contract contract specialists and be able to potentially allow them to utilize this type of a mechanism or a function on their contract to protect their investor. I'm now proud. It was a situation that I was, incredibly upset about, and am now proud to say that on my new token, we have protections in place. I can speak to my larger investors. I can speak to a smaller investor. I can speak to all of us in general and just say, like, if you come and you invest in one of my projects now, that nobody on my team will ever cause any type of disappointing factor like that took place in just a one quick foul swoop, and you can't fix something like that. So, innovation comes obviously from different things that take place in different situations, and I'm just really happy now to stand here proudly and say that I do have mechanisms on my contract that can protect the investor. I'll let somebody else maybe share.
Yeah, that's amazing. Who else? If you guys just want to raise your hand, and if I'll put you up in the order that you guys raise your hand. But yeah, if somebody wants to weigh in a little bit, I think one of the things that's very interesting about projects is, all our projects, or most projects, either have contracts in the token, and they might lock them, and maybe talk about the importance of having a lock on the actual liquidity pool versus tokens, a token locker, because we all know, like, if the liquidity pool gets drained, then the tokens that's in the locker are pretty much worthless, right? So if anybody wants to talk about that as well. We got Xsurge up. I see you right here to my first hand I see. So I'll give you the floor for a second, and then we'll follow up with Mick after Xsurge.
Yeah, so a lot of people here may actually be familiar with what happened to us, but we actually had a security vulnerability in our very first contract that we weren't aware of until we were victimized in a hack. On August 16th, we had a reentrancy issue with Surge BNB. And so it was a huge learning curve for us, and we've actually established very secure security protocols for dealing with these types of vulnerabilities. So we do extensive internal auditing. We do very extensive internal auditing of all of our contracts, and we have since then. We've actually reached out to CertiK and gotten our contracts audited. Any deviations from our contracts that go outside the traditional Surge mapping are all audited, to include our future contracts, to ensure that these vulnerabilities do not exist. So it's very unfortunate when it happens, but we've picked ourselves up since then and have been doing great ever since then. With our collaborators, we actually ensure they actually help us ensure that our contracts are safe and ready to go for each launch. And we reach out to a lot of people for these types of things. We all work together in the space, but it was very unfortunate with what happened with our first contract. But I think Mark maybe might want to talk about some of the internal contract mechanisms that he's put into place to help make our contracts a little more secure. But a lot of us are just jumping into the space this year and learning a lot about what we're doing out here and how to make our contracts safer for the communities and build a safer environment for DeFi. And these types of things happen. It's Polygon. The Polygon's been hacked before. Ethereum's been hacked before. The original Ethereum contract with Ethereum Classic being the original contract. I don't know if you guys are aware, but they lost millions of dollars in the past. And, a lot of people have had to go through learning curves that grow to be massive organizational pioneers in DeFi later on in the future. But yeah, I just wanted to speak a little bit about that, and I'll hand the floor to Mark. Let him talk a little bit about the smart contracts we got in place.
It dropped him there. We'll bring him back up as soon as he comes. Maybe in
the. I was going to say, go ahead, Mick, and then I'll go ahead and I'll get Mark back in as soon as I got Mick, and then I'll have Rise up and then Nicole.
Yeah, right. Thanks. So let me tell me my story and why I started DOE. I've been trading for a long time in crypto, but especially on BSC, I've started, I think, in February. So let's say about 9 months ago. And ever since, I have heard stories of people getting scammed. malicious intent by a dev, either them abandoning the project, but moreover changing the contract to the worse, changing taxes to above 50% to 99%, to disable trading, have essentially a honeypot, or also change the max TX, change it so that trading is disabled, pulling out the liquidity, having backlinks in the functions so they can mint tokens, and that way basically steal tokens. And I respect that in trading you have to be smart, you have to know when to buy, when to sell. We all make the joke of buying high, selling low. Yeah, that's a good way to lose money, but that's on you. Whilst I think that if you go to sleep and the next morning you wake up and a dev took hundreds of thousands of dollars from the community, from the investors, from the people that you have been talking to, becoming friends with, talking in VCs, like we've all been there. I find that horrible. I've been there numerous times, and I've had many of thousands of dollars taken from me, which I traded for a long time, and that basically incentivized me to start Dough. I got together with a lot of investors and people I've met in the space over the past months, and we came up with a token that we wanted to launch, which was basically like a safe haven for people to come to, where we have full transparency, fully docs, LinkedIn available, all the things that you need to know who's behind the company that you want to invest in. During the first AMA that we have, I jokingly said, like, I don't want people to invest just in a project to make money, but I want them to invest in me. And I think that's something that has to sink into investors as well. It's not about only the project that you invest in, but what's behind it, what's the utility, who's behind it, what's the mission, vision, what are you doing. What we are developing now with Dough is a launchpad where we take away all the risk that I just described. We have a contract that only has a couple variables open that can be changed to a cap. That being said, if someone launches a token on our launchpad, they have to KYC, they receive a certificate of authenticity from us, and once the token is launched, they can only change so much. They can never change the TX maximum to 0. They can never set the taxes to more than 30%. Basically, making sure that the malicious intent a dev could have is accounted for is something that we disable through automation. And I do hope that we can therefore bring safety back to the space. Like I know that it's a decentralized space, and that the power of crypto is also to be able to come up with new ideas and to do whatever. So I do respect that there will always be projects that launch separately, that write their own contracts, that have new ideas that don't fit in the management contract that we have written. But all the meme tokens, all the reward tokens, all the standardized tokens, basically the forks that we currently see taking over the space, because it's way too easy to just create a token, launch it, and make money off investors, and in 2 days the project is gone. That is our target market, and that's where I think the biggest scams happen. So yeah, I do hope that with my experience and the things that I have encountered and what we are doing now with Dough, that we can make sure that someone that's new to crypto doesn't have the same experience as I've had.
Yeah, man, that's it. It's literally that's what it's about with the collaboration that we're seeking right now, is to bring people together, like I said, and kind of have a safe haven. Next up, I think had his hand was Rise Up official, and then followed by Nicole.
Hey guys, I'm Warren Dux from Rise Up. Let me give a short introduction about why we created Rise Up. So we created Rise Up with the idea to teach people how to avoid scams. We've been doing this for 5 months now, and now we relaunched to V2, to a reward contract. We did this to reward our holders because in the end, what we are going to do is we are going to create our own safe and secure blockchain. And all our holders of RiseUp will be our partners in this. I'm not going to go too much in details about that. But yeah, that's for our blockchain. Now, what we have running is 3 rug screeners. A BSC one, an Ethereum one, and the Polygon one. What these rug screeners gives the information what's all on BSC scan. But we have something more that our rug screener does, and that's provide information about the creator of the contract. Because 9 out of 10, if you go check the creator's wallet, it gives you a 95% of that he's scamming or not. Because if he scammed once, he's going to do it again.
I would definitely agree with that, War. We definitely appreciate what you do. I mean, anybody who has a chance to work with you or meet you knows that this is something that you do with passion. And that's something super cool, being able to, actually track down the wallet, the dev or the dev holder's wallet, or wallets that's been sending or been received payments from rug projects. And for you guys to take the time to do that, it definitely adds another level of security. And so I definitely appreciate it. If nobody else gets to say it, I will say it. We appreciate what you guys are doing. Next up, I'm going to have Nicole take the floor for a second.
Yep, thanks. So I'm trying to unraise my hand. There we go. So Rob touched on our story a little bit of, how and why we formed Rug Seekers, but I thought I'd just add to that a little bit. But first, I just want to say it's crazy how similar all of our stories are, and how, so many of us have been through the same things, and it's actually really, really sad. And that was another thing and I've mentioned this to Jen before as well, that it struck me as crazy how normalized it was being rug pulled and scammed. We go, oh man, just got rug pulled yesterday, just got rug pulled again, and we'd all go, oh man, that sucks. And that was about it. It was like, it had just become so normal and such a part of the space that I was like, this is crazy, But, Rob touched on our story a little bit of how we were involved in, we weren't on the team. We were essentially mods and promoters for a project that, turned out to, the devs panic sold. It ended up, kind of being essentially a rug pull, and wasn't necessarily planned, but it was. And that was really hard for us, because we did bring investors in and we were people who were promoting this. And I think it was really hard on me because I brought in some influencer friends who had a large following. They promoted it as a favor to me, no payment, this and that. So really I felt like I hurt a lot of people, and that was really hard. And honestly, I wanted to just go crawl in a hole and not come back to Twitter. And it was a really tough couple days for me. And then I pulled myself back together, and I admitted my mistake. I released an apology, and I said, you know what, I don't want this to happen again. I'm not going to let this happen to my friends again. I'm not going to let my influencer friends promote these projects, that they don't want to promote, and hurt their followers and lose their followers money as well. And that, so that's just sort of my piece on, where I was coming from when we were creating Rug Seekers, is just that, we don't want to let this happen again, and we don't want this to be normalized.
It's so well said, Nicole. It's exactly it. And you said it really, what we were discussing many times over, is that it just has become this kind of normal thing that we've kind of come to accept, which really doesn't do any of us any justice. We need to really raise the bar here and expect more from each other, from development, from the creators, the founders, the communities at large. It's really not funny necessarily to hear that people are just consistently losing money on random projects that are being deployed onto the blockchain. We need to expect more, sort of what Mick was saying. He's got, parameters in place that are going to require a lot of different specific needs specific to what we need to be safe and secure in our investment, have to go through him before they'll even allow it to get to the launch pad. I was just thinking, we also have Matt here on the mic. He was hoping he could get a spot on the speaker spot. Did it drop him? Vibin, if you see Matt, maybe Matt come back up. He's wanting to get onto the speaking stage as well. So if we have a second, we'll just put him up. And then in the meantime, Mick, go for it. Please feel free.
Yeah, I think I want to touch on what you just said about we normalize being scammed and accept that that risk is there. I always make the comparison jokingly to my friends. Like, would you give your credit card with a lot of money on it to a random on the street and expect him not to take your money? Of course not. You go to the bank, and if someone, a bank employee, would ask you to give your credit card because you want something, you want to trade something, you want to buy something, or someone in a store, then you know by authority that it's safe. And I think that is something that is both the power and the weakness of a decentralized environment. And through these kind of projects, these kind of collaborations, I think we can be that safe haven, that person behind the counter that can give you the safety so you can trade safely. One thing which stuck with me was I'm in a lot of like investor groups where new investors, but also like veteran investors are discussing newly launched projects. They hype, they have AMAs, and there was this one guy saying, I invested in a token, but I need to go to sleep now. I hope I won't be rugged tomorrow. And that really stuck with me, that he said that as if it's something normal, if it's something that you expect and accept, that you invest in something, but you can't be sure if it's a scam. Basically, coming back to the story of giving your credit card to a random, he, in my eyes, gave his credit card and said, yeah, I need to sleep, but I'm not sure if that guy will give me my credit card back tomorrow. And that is, I think, yeah, basically why this is very important, what we are doing. And I also see this as a change that is currently happening within the entire space. There's more eyes on safe projects, bringing back safety for investors, but also for developers, giving them more tools to prove the safety. One of those, for example, probably you all know, and I also heard Jens just say that locking of tokens is, in my eyes, very important, not only for the team, but also for the entire project. So not only team tokens, but also liquidity tokens, reward tokens. All larger wallets should basically be locked, same as with stocks. Time locking is very normal. Obligations are not just for a reason that there's a bond that goes for a year or maybe even longer before you get your return on your investment. So what we will be doing within the next couple of days is we'll be launching free lockers. We have a free LP locker that any project can start using. We have vesting that any project can start using for their team tokens. We have reward token lockers. So if you are a reward token, you probably know that your marketing wallet is your largest wallet in the project. For though that's 10%. If I wouldn't be doxed, if I wouldn't have good intent, that will be a big risk for investors. That's a lot of money, especially on the market caps that we are currently at, but especially where we will be going to. That's a lot of money. That could be hundreds of millions. We don't touch the tokens. We don't touch those native tokens. We only use the rewards that are being farmed. So the BNB and the cake that the marketing wallet is receiving to pay for our marketing. At the moment, there's no technology that allows you to lock tokens, a reward marketing wallet, but still have access to those rewards. So we will also be releasing a reward locker where you can lock the native tokens, but with a claiming function, you can still get out the other tokens that are being gathered within that wallet, which, in my opinion, is like a big step towards more safety in reward tokens, but also in general by offering those services for free to any project out there.
Yeah, that hits home, Mick. I mean, that's what I was talking about, having something like that, because a lot of time the developers, they have their development wallet or have access to these other type of wallets like marketing wallets, and and most of the time you hear like, oh, it's liquidity, right? But then you don't get to see the behind the scene wallets, and some of the things like that. And then most of the time, some of the projects might even just lock up tokens in a locker, right? And it's kind of like what what I was just saying earlier is if they're not locking the tokens in the liquidity pool, the ones that's actually paired to the like a BNB, then the tokens that's in the locker could have no value if the liquidity pool gets pulled. So it's definitely it's good to see different projects come in and talk about some of the locks that you guys are going to be putting on your projects. And I was able to get Matt back up. I know we lost DeFi Mark for a second. Both you guys have the floor. If you want it, you can just speak one at a time.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Cut off right when you were trying to pull me up. Well, we already gave our rundown on Surge, but I love what you're doing at the lockers too. Locking up tokens, keeping people in check is definitely very important. People can say one thing, but not everyone can, act responsibly if they see a large amount of money in their wallet, regardless of what their intentions were at the beginning. So having the ability to completely negate that, I hope they don't pull this, is amazing. And specifically a bunch of the different lockers, like whether it's a locker that slowly unleashes tokens like the one we've made, or one that just unlocks all at once. Any way to just get power away from developers, but still give them the ability to utilize funding and have the ability to grow their project is very important. So taking that away and making it not trust-based, but making it contract-based, where there's no way to trick the system, and it works in a very predictable and decentralized and open source manner is definitely so important. Over my last few months, I've been creating. There's so many different things you can do with a contract to interact with tokens to give it a bunch of crazy new benefits, such as a reward locker or something like that. Like it's all really cool and awesome. So I love seeing the space grow, and I love seeing new ideas come out. So this has been great to get a little taste of everything and see where everyone's coming from. For sure. I'm not sure exactly which contracts I was supposed to speak on right now. I have way too many to think of off the top of my head, but I was just gonna throw my 2 cents in there about the space and give the floor to someone else.
Yeah, man, we appreciate it. I think Matt was going to come up as well. You still got something you want to say, Matt?
I don't see Matt up here.
Is that I think I seen one. Is that Blue? Did you have your hand up?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say. So we were talking about the marketing development allocation and the dev funding, so on and so forth. So we actually have a multi-sig in place that locks our contract. And only 4 members of our head of development team can actually move any sort of funding. So that is some level of security that we have towards ensuring that no funding can be taken out and used for any sort of nefarious means. And I think that's very important for certain projects to utilize a multi-sig. A multi-sig prevents the funding from being able to be taken out by any one individual. It has to be a group community vote. And actually, we've been in discussion of actually implementing a DAO, and what that allows for is community voting standards. So any sort of, for your community to get together and be able to vote on what that funding is actually allocated for, and for it to be put into a smart contract algorithm. And what that'll allow the community to vote and allow. And so for future token variants, for marketing and development strategies, we can post it up there to the community, and they will have the final say. They will have the final say into what we actually do with that funding. So these are all very beautiful concepts, and a lot of different projects have actually shown them to be very successful strategies, and both providing security for the contracts and security of the funding, and actually giving the people what they want.
Yeah, that's a very good point, especially like multi-signature wallets are huge. DAOs are huge. Blockchain technology is amazing, and it goes so far beyond finance. What a smart contract really is it's like a database that can run executable code. So anything you would store in like a website database, like a SQL database, whatever you would store away as private information, it's like that, but it can't be changed. And the only way it can be changed is in an open source way that you define. So it takes all of the worry about, oh, what if your database gets hacked? That all goes away if you put it on the chain. So stuff like voting, stuff like currencies have been very popular on-chain abilities because those are hot things to hack. Like if you're going to hack something on the web, a currency sounds pretty lucrative of a thing to hack, but it's much harder to do on blockchain. So blockchain technology really brings that immutability and security to a bunch of things, and it really opens the door to voting and so many other aspects. And as more developers come into the space, the true like utility of smart contracts is really going to come out, and I think it goes far beyond just tokens, different token variants. I think it can be a number of different things, but yeah, absolutely, multi-signature wallets, ways to take power away from single people, is so needed in the space, because that's what cryptocurrency is supposed to be. It's decentralized finance, but putting owner functions in things, giving all the LP to one person, that's not decentralized. You might as well just be a bank, but with no regulations, and you're anonymous, which is terrifying. So getting that out of the space it's just like removing the garbage. It needs to happen because people have found a way to centralize a decentralized space, and it's an owner function. And all that is simply you remember an address and you say, the only person who can call this function is that address. And if you're that address, you can put whatever functionality you want into a token. And that's just centralizing something that's supposed to be decentralized. So hooking up ownership to a multi-sig helps. Hooking it up to a DAO could be excellent too if you have right safety measures in place. Yeah, there's so much to see in this space, but no one person should have all the LP, and no one person should have too much of the supply. That's just standard. Lock your stuff up for sure. Okay, that's it for me.
No, I couldn't agree more.
Can I
that's really big, because that's one thing I do like about some of the Rise Up things. It shows those top wallets and shows the percentage that those people have, and then just those lockers and the DAO. That's big, to have a community be able to vote on what happens with the marketing wallet is something that's really needed. I mean, because like you said, it's pretty much the wild west without any regulation.
Exactly. That's
and a ton of money.
That was the whole motive behind Surge, at least at the beginning. Because with Surge, there are 0 dev tokens, 0 allocations to any marketing or any development need whatsoever. Every single developer, every single person in Surge has to buy tokens. The total supply is 0 when it starts. To make new supply, you have to provide capital to the contract, and based on how much money you give it, it decides how many tokens you get back. The Surge token itself is its own exchange in that way. You don't need any kind of exchange to deal with it. And that was one of the main problems we were solving when Surge came out, is how do we make something 100% decentralized? So if you look through the Surge contract code, the only owner function in there is to upgrade the router, which DEX it uses to buy tokens. But that's not even a needed feature. You don't even need a DEX to use Surge. That's only to give a little added benefit to make things easier of sending BNB in. But you can just provide tokens to it itself and get minted tokens back. So that's definitely one of the things we were trying to tackle on as well. Just not having any more developer control. It's a big thing.
Mark should mention too. You should mention too on Xsurge, because it is really also unique on any other project that I know of in blockchain, is the fact that 100% of what's currently in their LP, if you are an investor, you would get back, if you needed to, you would get back your money.
Yeah, no one can be left holding the bag. It's actually over 100% backed.
Yeah.
Each Surge token is, for the normal Surge tokens, it's 106% backed, and for XUSD, it's 100.25% backed by real value. So that means even if every single person sold at once, you could still sell no problem. And actually, you would get the best deal if you were the last to sell, because sells raise the price of Surge more than buys do. So if you're the last person to exit, you get a better deal than anyone who has bought or sold at any point in time before you.
It's brilliant.
Where else is that?
And that's what's called raising the bar. It is, it's done with smart contracts and with really clean development concepts. You don't have to build cryptocurrencies the way that, the previous group of people maybe are building cryptocurrency, and certainly is done for the benefit of the small group of people involved in the development of it, or the conceptualized idea of it, or the whales or the apes who've been able to get in on it because they happen to have more money than the rest of us at the right time and place. you can actually develop these contracts to be in the favor of the investor. And many of these projects, and I would say all of them sitting up here today, have that at the forefront of their conceptual ideas. And then the way they develop them moving forward once they've gone to launch and onto the blockchain. I was just noticing that Official Rise Up wanted to make a mention of something. So please feel free to grab the mic and let somebody know more about your project as well.
Yeah, I was just going to touch base, but Vibin actually beat me to the punch and knew exactly where I was headed with it. One thing with the top holders and is, the biggest point is if a lot of the top holders are holding more than 2% of the total token supply, you've got to think that's 5 of them have 2% each. That's 10%. If they were all to sell at the same time, that's going to drop the project, especially depending on how many burn tokens have already been burned through the supply itself. So let's say, you got 50% of the total supply that's been burned, but you got the top 5 holders holding 10%, that's technically almost 20% of the entire supply because half of it's already gone. So as soon as they sell, it's going to be over at that point.
Yeah, man. That's one of the things that I definitely appreciate about you guys' function. And it's super simple to do and super simple. And it comes the results come back pretty fast. So definitely looking forward to what you guys are going to be bringing out in the future. Before I see you got your hand up, Mick, I'm going to bring you up next. But before I do, if you guys are just jumping into space, make sure you fill out the form at the top for a giveaway today for some NFTs. And we're also going to be giving away 3 Ledger Nano X's. So make sure you guys fill out that form at the top for me, please. And also follow all your speakers and all the projects.
Yep. Also for the form on there for the NFTs, make sure that you are dropping your Ethereum address on there. So do not put your BNB. If you accidentally did that, just go back in there and at the Discord name, just say, I accidentally put in, my BNB instead of Ethereum address.
All right, Mick, you can go ahead. And again, guys, make sure you use your Ethereum address for the giveaway at the top.
Yeah, so I wanted to give a different sound than, for example, Defi Mark has just mentioned, because I do respect that crypto is mainly intended as a decentralized environment. But like I also said during my introduction, I do think that for some utilities, some use cases, centralization isn't bad. It's just a different way of crowdfunding. For example, if you look at DOE, I wouldn't consider moving management to a DAO. I wouldn't consider having a community called shots have the final voice. Why? Because I see DOE as a company where the investors that join us are basically shareholders, and they do need to get a voice in the company, yes, like normal shareholders would. But there's also projects that use crypto as crowdfunding. Even if you look at the bigger altcoins, for example, Holo, sure, they have their own blockchain that they're bringing out, but it's utility, it's a company behind it. Same goes for Cardano. So it's not only about decentralization and bringing ownership to the decentralized environment, because I do think some ownership can also lay with a company. Hence, you guys also register yourself as LLCs or as legal entities. So you can't have it all decentralized, and you can, depending on your use case. But let's say you have a company and you need to make decisions. There should always be some kind of centralization. Otherwise, you have too many captains on one ship. And then I do agree on the part where you have multisig. We have the same for DOE, making sure that one person doesn't have the keys to the red button. To ensure the safety of investors, but there's more means that you can do that, like I just mentioned with the lockers, but also with making the functions that are owner limited, or there's a lot of ways in functions, in contracts, how you can limit certain certain access, and that's only for some use cases.